was born in Romania to a loving family. Well, I would say well-to-do. We lived in a two-family home that we shared with my father's mother, a grandmother, and we had electricity, we had a radio, but that was short-lived. First, the Russians came and occupied our area. They took the young men into the army, and my father was one of them. I was never to see him again. I was 4 when we parted. Less than a year later, the Romanians came in and they gave us 24 hours, whatever you could pack up and any clothing that you wear. You have to be ready in 24 hours and leave everything behind. We were supposed to have gone into a death camp, but my grandmother had money sewn in her undergarments. And I asked her why, and she said, well, we never know, maybe it'll save our lives. And she was right about that. Some Romanian soldiers took bribes, they took money. We did not go to concentration camp, but we went to Shargorod, which was in Transnistria, it was the Ukraine, where they had very primitive village. It was a ghetto there, and they also took the Jews out from the ghetto to work, to a labor camp. I remember hunger. If we had water and potato, that was a wonderful meal. It was very hard. We had hard times there. I saw my grandmother die there, and we went through it. We were there 3 years. The day that we were liberated, somebody told us we'd have to go into basements because we heard the front was coming closer and closer, and one child couldn't stand it any longer. He said, he's going out. He went out, and when he came back, he said, we are free. The liberators are here, and we were freed by the Russians. We had to have falsified papers saying that we were born in Poland. So we were able to go on trade. The journey took us 3 months. I remember we posed as Greeks. We had to cross different borders from that area to Germany when we reached the DP camp. It was life reborn again. I had lost my childhood, but then I regained it because they had schools for us. The government of the United States and the joint distribution and the Hayas. And of course the Red Cross was visible. So we started going to school, and I loved school then because I was lacking it. So my hope for the future is that we never have any war. We shouldn't have suffering. I always tell the students, you have to speak up. And hatred is wrong, but love is right. Whenever you see, bullying is terrible. Whenever you see hatred, one person should speak up. I feel very good when I speak to classes and I see they're so interested, and I think to myself, I hope that it touches them so that a Holocaust would never happen again. Because 1.5 million children, what did they do in the world to deserve it? And 11 million people, it wasn't just Jews. Never again, and that's why it was very difficult for me at first to speak about it, because I felt I didn't go through Auschwitz or Dachau, but people told me, you are a survivor. You lost your childhood, you lost your home, you lost your loved ones. I became a teacher. My mother did not go in any welfare, and believe me, we qualified. We were in a 1-bedroom apartment in New York, and worked very hard. I'm very patriotic. I believe in the United States, 100%. You see, my flags were always there, my kids, because I'm very grateful, and as a result, I give back.
So how do you think that your experience has shaped, what you do now, when you came
Well,
to
I've
America?
always taught my children to love their fellow man. Kids should be educated and should spread the word and not allow this to happen again.
How do you think that your experience has shaped your parenting and your grandparenting style with your kids?
Well, I think my grandparenting it has shaped because I was lacking grandparents. I had them for a very short period of time. So, I don't know, that they call me the best grandma. So I bent over backwards, and I really loved my children and grandchildren, and love taking care of them.
So what do you want future generations to like take away?
I really want them to tolerate, love one another, and speak up, because you never know. You might be in this situation. My hope is for peace and eradicate hunger.
Do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, I want people to remember from history what happened, and study about it. And it should never happen again. Never, never. I mean, sorry that we had the experiences, but we have to share the experiences so others know what suffering was like. I mean, you can't really imagine. And to the separation of families. If you have family, you lose the loved one. And we should have shalom, peace. You're my hope for the future, and when I see you so interested in this, that does me good. I feel good about it.